Lime Island, near the mouth of the St. Mary's River in the eastern Upper Michigan, has plenty of history. This is the second stop in our tour through some of northern Michigan's most interesting islands.
And Lime Island definitely has a story to tell. 9 and 10's chief photojournalist Corey Atkins and Kevin Assebaggers take you to Lime Island tonight.
Most of the people that come here just fish and do some swimming, but they need to know about why the island was here and what it was used for.
On a gray September day with a crew from the DNR, it's a quick 12-mile trip up the St. Mary's River to Lime Island, which sits in the middle of the river. It's a trip that may surprise you with its rich history.
We know of the Native Americans were here first, and they played lacrosse on it. On the south side of the island, there's some flat land. It's a sandy area, and they've found some artifacts where they had their summer camps.
In the 1700s, French voyagers and missionaries started trading on Lime Island. They found the island was rich in limestone.
They would mine the limestone and use the kilns and heat it to make cement. They mainly went to Fort St. Joseph and made the fort there, and also some of the homes in the area.
Remnants of 6 kilns are still here today. From the water, you can still see the ash from the kilns, almost like a scar on the island.
That was just a byproduct. When they built the fires and the kilns, they had to get rid of their ash, and they would just, the lowest spot was throw it in the water, so that was what they did, throw it on the shore. Most of it went into the water. It's still there and it's thick, and on a rainy day, if you step into it, you sink 4 or 5 inches. It's a mucky.
The island went through its changes. Potatoes, wheat, and hay were grown there in the mid-1800s. Then, a hotel was built.
An industrious person built a 3-story motel, and they tried to make it go. I think he was trying to keep up with the Grand Hotel at that time at Mackinac Island, but it didn't go at all here.
That's when the island became a gas station of sorts, refueling the many ships on the St. Mary's River at that time. Back then, most ships needed refueling every 2 days.
And they built this coal dock, supplied the coal to the ships, the freighters, early freighters. It's 900 feet. And in their claim to fame, they could load a freighter in 20 minutes. They would fill the hoppers all day. And when a freighter came in, they could pull the chute, and in 20 minutes, they could get a freighter back in the water.
A small town popped up on the island. This old Victorian home slid into place here on the ice in 1910.
I've seen the old pictures, and there was 20 or 30 families that lived here year-round. There's a schoolhouse for the children, and they had the foreman's house, the big house, the Victorian house up on the hill. It was a kind of a lucrative job. They paid really good. So the people that lived on the island here, even though they were separated from the mainland, this was a good life for them. And I read this was one of the first places where they had radios.
Eventually, diesel-fueled freighters, and Lime Island built these 2 huge 1.5 million gallon tanks to refuel ships. As the boats got bigger and didn't need to be refueled so often, the Lime Island dock closed in 1982 and was sold to the state for $1. Now the island is one of the most unique campgrounds in Michigan.
And you need a boat to get over here. That's the difficult part. It's hard to get here.
The town's old homes are now cabins. The whole island a big museum where you can camp. And it's very important to only have fires in the fire rings.
The area was full of coal, and when the company left here, they left all the piles of coal. So we had the National Guard at that time. They bulldozed everything and cleared the land and leveled it. And instead of moving it, they couldn't do that, so they just bulldozed it flat. So in a lot of places, the coal's probably 2, 3, 6 feet deep. So if you would have a fire on it, you could theoretically catch the island on fire.
And after all those years of refueling ships, the island has become one of the best freighter watching spots on the Great Lakes.
Raber Bay is 3.5 miles across, and the deeper water is right here next to Lime Island. So the freighters are they're funneled in here. Was 100 yards out there, and you can almost touch them, it seems like. And you can hear their motors coming before they do. Fantastic view to see these ships come by so close. And then at night, too, they're all lit up beautiful at night.
There's a lot to discover on Lime Island, if you can get here.
You step back in time when you come on Lime Island, and it's one of the little-known jewels here in eastern Michigan.
With photojournalist Corey Atkins, Kevin Assebaggers, 9 and 10 News at 5.